not the finals of the overall tournament. It looks like nice team names actually synced up for once. Cool. Welcome back to the 2 versus tournament. It's going to be a best of 3. Spawning here in the top right corner of the map, we have Team APS, Team Axiom Professional Streamers. Starting off with our blue Protoss, captain of the team, Crank. And of course his teammate, the subordinates, Heart.
In the bottom left, as Dead Pixels, playing for Dead Pixels, it's Patience, the pink Protoss, and the red Zerg, True.
Alright, both of these teams have shown us a lot of good games. Patience and True definitely seem to have a lot locked down as far as working together goes, but same can be said about Crank and Heart. There's a little bit of awkwardness in that one series, but both teams took their semifinals matches 2-0. That being said, I guess the dynamic of this kind of comes into not so much the Protoss this time around, but more about the Terran versus Zerg aspect, as both Patience and Crank could essentially, quote-unquote, deathball the late game. It'll really come down to, I think, how Heart and True are going to bounce off each other.
Sorry. Someone had never heard of Banrain before? Guys, go look up Naniwa and, like, Leenock. Go look up Leenock anything, I guess, when it was really popular.
I still think of all time, my favorite Banrain is going to be Snoot versus Stardust, though. But that's a long time ago, and I don't even know if the VODs exist for it. But to start this one off, once again, the teamwork of walling off at the front. Love this move out of Crank and Heart.
Yeah. Crank and Heart, I feel a little more favored to. I think TP is PT? That sounds a bit better.
The toilet paper?
It's just, they seem to have a better composition. When it comes to that mid-ish late to the late game, I think they're going to win. So we'll see what Patience and True's plans are to basically not let that happen, I would think. You know, they've already kind of like had like they're already the ones that have to be more worried, you know? They don't have a wall, but True has to expand. There are very few effective one-base builds that Zerg can do, especially when you know it's a possibility they're going to wall off, like they did. So don't 10 pull. Probably won't work. Patient's going to go for a proxy, I guess.
I was actually really curious if Crank was going to pull this off again. He's opened with, I believe, Proxy Oracle every series so far. But Patience is, yeah, definitely going to be turning this around. So I guess for him, this is so good. Like, it couldn't be better that he gets the Terran player right here as well, right?
Yeah, that's, well, I guess Protoss or Terran would be fine.
I think you hurt a Terran player a little more than you do a Protoss, because you can Chrono out the probes to replace them. Mules are kind of a band-aid, but Chrono Boost is like a permanent fix, I guess.
It's usually, like, in PvP, I think, like, you're getting feelings from, like, 1v1, right? By the time an Oracle pops out, you might have a Stalker. It's also kind of easy to scout, so... hopefully Crank realizes, like, he's checked the gases for Patience and whatnot. But for Terran, it's like, you know, your Marines are never in position. You're already on 2 bases, where PvP lasts on 1 base for a long time. There's many different reasons, but...
Heart's not going to be able to deal with this. He's going to have to pull SCVs. If he's lucky, there might be somebody to defend this. Crank might go for... Does he go for a Phoenix first? That'll be the big question. Did he scout? Does he know? He knows. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a very obvious build. You know something is up when you scout how much gas they take as the Protoss.
I love this. Shut up. Just like...
that must be the first thing he was taught, you know? Like, shut up. Shut the hell up.
Okay, well, the Phoenix, it might get another Overlord kill, which would be nice, but he does have to make sure that this Phoenix doesn't run rampant. Now, if the Oracle, if this gets in and kills 1 or 2 SCVs and then Crank responds, that's still perfectly fine. The idea is to minimize that Oracle from getting, you know, from 2 to 7 SCVs versus like 7 to 13.
Oh. You might think that it's like the not proxy Oracle?
Oh dear, that's gonna be problems. Oh, it's fast enough he'll get back home, right?
Yeah, but it's just a little worrying. 2 Marines obviously will not cut it. They won't even buy that much time.
Oh, Crank does a 360.
Yeah, okay. Heart loses 3 SCVs immediately before pulling 4. Stupid SCVs. 5. God. No, okay.
Is that a juice? It's okay.
I don't know. Sometimes we're like, okay, they had a juice, and they have like that 3 left over, and they kill 15 SCVs, and you're like, how?
That probe gets stuck, by the way.
Yes, it did. Who did that when we were playing teams?
I don't know, but that's a bit of a nuisance, I guess. Crank does get his Oracle across the map, and
Fabio.
the score's not quite done yet.
When he proxy 2-gated.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna lose the
God.
Oracle, though.
That's so bad. Crank, pay attention.
He's like, question mark, what happened? Hacks? No, dude, you lost it to 2 queens and a Spore.
Oh, Crank gonna go into Dark Templars.
Ooh, interesting
Yeah.
choice. Yeah.
This
Continuing
won't
with
be-
Phoenixes, though.
This won't be fast enough to hit before like a lair. So there's gonna be mobile detection.
Well, Evolution Chamber en route. We'll see what tech path he decides to go with. I mean, that's kind of what True's doing. It's not... it's not like he went for a quicker layer or anything. W was necessarily gonna go towards melee. Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
double upgraded Lings. Maybe going to fast Ultras with Infestors. That might be a good composition.
That'd be really dirty, actually, if you think about
If
it.
you-
But
If you can get up there. So, we'll see.
you know, I'm wondering actually the dynamic of what is possibly Broodlords in this matchup too. Normally Broodlords take up so much of your money and supply, you don't have a lot of support for them, but if Patience is backing him up with a ton of Blink Stalkers, Broodlords might very well be Kingmakers.
Yeah. I feel like going for a very slow army, though, is just asking for trouble.
It is,
Unless
'cause,
you had
like,
someone...
how are you gonna respond to Blink or Drops or, like, you know, the Harass?
Right, yeah. Unless you had someone backing you up with, like, mutas or something to cover that, which Blink Stalkers kind of do. Now, this is a lot of Blink Stalkers. I don't think we noticed that Patience is going for basically an all-in, which is really rare to see.
Oh, trying to keep
player.
that stim alive!
Nice.
Alright, so that stim finishing is actually be the difference of, like, life or death in a very big way. It looks like it will get a chance to finish in this game. Or what is coming out going to make this really hard to deal with is there is no detection.
Oh,
Dark Templar even defensively warped in. And
Nice.
he'll push this back. Nice hold.
Yeah, very important. I mean, that was 5 gateways. The Nexus was not, like, it's still not done. So that was very committed. And it's just so shocking to see that because you're committing with 1 player versus 2 players that are, you know, they're not doing super greedy, you know, they're not 3 bases. So that's, I'm surprised how much damage it did do, or, like, looked to almost do.
Well, Combat Shields is not as big of a deal to lose. It still sucks, of course, but not nearly as drastic as, say, in comparison to Stim. But only trying to get in those front lines, everything choked out through this entrance, but where are those DTs going on the other side of the map? It does get here towards this expansion.
Oh, nice. Start coming with drones.
Well, Spore Crawler is just barely out of range for the back of the mineral line. That's annoying.
The one reason you should creep up your partner's base.
Yeah, the one time.
Just saying.
Force will hold it in place for a time being, but we did have Medivexer sneaking out of here for Heart. Scans the main, knows there's really not a lot. In fact, he could drop over here to the right, not even be in range of that Spore Crawler. So this could do a lot of damage potentially. Crank's DTs, they haven't really wrecked anybody, but they've caused a lot of distraction, a lot of panic, like, hey, look over here, look over there. So they might not be looking for these drops to come. And the Stalkers in the middle of the map, they're not going to be in the main for this either.
Yeah. That just looked like a what are you doing scan, too. I mean, if it's TVT and they scan after scouting you went by, you're like, okay, you're going to drop there. But,
Yeah, I know what's up. I know the deal.
Yeah, this time, though, True's just like, oh, I'm not going to spire that surprise you. And it's like, oh my god. Medevacs everywhere.
I'm loving the Widow Mines associated with this, too. If Lings do flood in, one goes up on nothing. Oh my god, no, please. Okay. Oh no, he actually wastes both Widow Mine shots! No way!
So useless.
That is so heartbreaking. That's one of those fun times. You know, every time someone cries about Widow Mines, you show them that moment right there.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't cleaned up Patience's Stargate, by the way.
Yeah.
They might want to.
could
It's the proxy
invest-
pylon.
Yeah, you actually got another Oracle out of it, so no missile turrets is gonna sting. Heart sees the
Heart
stone
sees it.
equals. Yeah.
Oh, it was nicely done.
I thought Crank was going to go a little bit harder with the Stalkers, but, you know, we look at upgrades right now, there's really not that much going out. Production's only just starting up. We do have, of course, for, I guess, Heart and True, sort of some upgrades, but I guess upgrades, I gotta wonder if they're as big of a deal in 2v2s, because if you've got an army that's maxed out, you know, 2 maxed out armies versus 1 maxed out army and 1 half upgraded army, like, I guess numbers would probably be what wins. I want to assume.
I would say in a splash-oriented army, absolutely. Like, who cares if you have if you have 5 Colossus versus Blink Stalkers or whatever, like they're gonna win. But since they aren't really going for a very splash-oriented composition, and Banelings don't really count in that regard, because they die like after they're used, the upgrades program gonna be very important.
Yo, I would love to see Heart take a Ninja Island base. By the way, just float a CC over or something.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
It'd be pretty serious, because I mean, like, you build a couple turrets that you're covered. I mean,
well, I'm surprised that True hadn't gotten a Spire. He's getting one right now.
You actually, I just remembered, sorry, I said horrific flashbacks to the map. You can actually blink to the island bases. One of my shots are going to be really bad. Oh my god, worst one of my shots ever. Couple road banelings from True, like in the middle of the map too. That's really cool to see.
Yeah.
There's even more where that came from, but still marching across the map. I mean, Crank's Stalkers should be able to be that buffer for the Marines. You know, their weakness being the banelings is what the Stalkers can deal with a little bit better. One of my shots, there's not a lot of Marauders here, and of course, Combat Shields is so heavily delayed, only just finishing now. Kind of works out for timing on the attack, but can these guys deal with the Zerglings?
I don't think there's enough from Heart to back this up. There is a lot of Protoss and there's a lot of Zerg, but not a lot of the Terran.
He picks up with the Marines, which is a good choice, but it's kind of like good luck, Crank. You know, I'll see you later.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work. The Lings are very effective against the Stalkers.
Yeah, and the Stalker count for Patience holds high at the top of the ramp while this goes on.
This was bizarre to commit.
Well, Patience's upgrades are looking good, but they're still pushing through. Those Marines, that bio, those couple of medevacs, it might just be the little bit of a tide-turning difference they need. Well, the Widowmines have been garbage all game, but they're going to start getting better.
True needs more macro hatcheries. He has so much money. This could be like, you know, double the amount of Lings that he's getting right now.
Oh,
it's still going to be enough, just barely.
Oh, almost picks off that second medevac. The Stalker wars, though, are so dire, so desperate, so down to the wire. Heart is still rallying units across the map, and Heart is still trying to carry through to support his teammate, but it's just not here, and it's not in time. We do have more Widowmines starting to rearm, though, so reinforcements might start getting cut off. Crank has been doing a fantastic job without upgrades, with what is almost perfect blink control. He's been taking a great fight versus Patience, who had more Stalkers, who had more support, because his Lings were here, Defender's Advantage and all that.
The Widowmines have been finally getting those shots that they've always wanted, on top of the Protoss army, funnily enough. And True is running out of money now. He finally used his money.
Patience is the one who's got the money.
I think that won't be helpful now.
I think he sent the money to Patience.
Oh yeah, you're right, he did.
Patience suddenly has 2,000 minerals.
In the dough. But neither one has production to compensate for that. Like, you can give your opponent or your partner as much money as you want, but they're still only on 7 gateways, 2 base economy.
Oh my god, they just sniped off all the detection too, so there's no more overseers, no more observers. The Widowmines are not going to be dealt with. Hearts Marines, you know, I thought without Marauders this wouldn't work, but with 2-2 on these Marines, he's been just storming right through. Crank with no upgrades himself, sacrificing a little bit. Again, everything you watch in this game says this should not be working as well as it has been, especially with all the friendly fire these Widowmines have been dealing, but they're on the verge of victory.
I'm really going to just blame the production. That hold to True so hard. Like, okay, so like 1,000 minerals right now is probably not going to help them win the game. It seems to be a little too overwhelming. But imagine back when they were just barely pushing them back. A reinforcement of Lings would clean up the proxy pylon. The reinforcements like ants trailing across the map, never good against Lings for the Terran. They could have potentially held. They're still trying to.
Yeah, A for effort and whatnot. Widowmines are rearming now, though. This is again the friendly fire. Oh, Crank, are you so
Crank.
There's I couldn't believe the amount of friendly fire shots that went off this game. Though, like, Heart got either completely useless Widowmine shots that actually went off on nothing, or they were friendly firing a lot of the Marines. Like, I'm still surprised that this worked at the end of the day, but this is definitely, I'd say, the credit of Crank more than Heart. But team play is team play. Without both of them, this would not have gone down like this. Good game is finally called, and Heart, Crank, Team Axiom Pro streamers will take game number 1. Well played.